It's Friday. It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite. He's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that, They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls. It's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this is the Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show.
How much fun was it taking the mound with a 6-run lead?
Yeah, it was really fun. Those first couple warm-up pitches, I had to let him eat a couple just to get warmed up as quickly as I could. But this win was offense, man. They jumped on it right away, and 1 through 9 they were hot, so they made my job pretty easy today.
Well, that was Trevor Rogers, asked by BaltimoreBaseball.com's chief reporter, Rich Dubroff. I guess he's the managing editor of BaltimoreBaseball.com. Does a great job along with Peter Schmuck. But he was asking Trevor Rogers about what it was like to go onto the mound with a 6-0 lead. And Rogers, as humble as he is, says this is all about the offense. Well, I thought it was quite a bit about Trevor Rogers yesterday because the offense has been a good bit better, or maybe not quite at its peak, but it was pretty darn good yesterday. But I thought the story, Griffin, despite the 6-run inning against Brian Bayo in the first inning, I thought the story was Trevor Rogers, who was, again, pitched very well through 5 to 6 innings.
Yeah, he definitely looked unbelievable. I mean, he was unhittable, obviously, like literally by definition was unhittable the first 4 innings of the game, and then he did run into a little bit of trouble in the 5th, was able to work out of it, and then the 6th it kind of started. I think they kind of learned their lesson from what happened. What was that, Friday against
against
Toronto?
Blue Jays, yep.
So they got him out of there. He got through 5 2/3, so didn't technically get a quality start, but it was. I mean, for what we've seen from Trevor Rogers, you're 100% right. Yeah. That was the most encouraging start he's had in a while. I mean,
it was his first start,
Friday,
his first win since April 1st.
Wow.
Now,
which is
if it was on your bingo card that Trevor Rogers was going to get off to the kind of start that he had for 18 starts last year, that wasn't on my bingo card. But this certainly, the stretch of not winning a game, even taking into account he was on the IL for 18 days or something like that, this was not on my bingo card that he pitched that poorly either. It looks like, based on his last 2 starts, take away the 2 home runs, that he's got something going on again.
I mean, yes, I agree. I think they're still gonna. I think they still have to kind of figure out what the sweet spot is for him, and because obviously he looked really good for 6 innings on Friday, and then just imploded in the 7th and couldn't get a single out. Or did he get it out? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It felt like he couldn't get it out in the 7th, but obviously his pitch count was in really good shape, so why not throw him out there for the 7th? But yeah, it looks like maybe he's going to have a quicker hook if he's going to be really strong for 4 or 5 innings.
I think he's going to pick up more strength.
I think you're right. I hope you're right. His ERA is still sitting at 6.29 though.
Yeah,
and that's
but it's down from 6.96 from his last 2 starts. The one thing I will point out that yesterday was about 86, 88 degrees in Boston yesterday.
87.
In the afternoon. Might have been a bit humid. He's still ramping back up from, his time on the IL. So I see no reason why he can't start to go into the 7th and complete 7 on occasion. But it's really been quite encouraging suddenly, save Chris Bassett. And Bassett now apparently has a little bit of a medical excuse. He came back to Baltimore.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he came back to Baltimore to be examined by team docs about some tightness in his back. So no report yet that he's on the IL that I've heard, but that's certainly a possibility. And I guess the next man up right now would be Trey Gibson, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If it's a Bassett, there is a, I mean, knock on wood, but if there is a Bassett IL stint coming up, then yeah, I mean, it seems like Gibson would be the easy one for one. They obviously optioned him, so it would have to be an injury in order to recall Bassett back to the rotation.
You mean
or Gibson, yeah,
Gibson,
recall Gibson.
I wrote a piece right after the game the other night that the Orioles have a Chris Bassett problem because with Bradish, Boz, and Brandon Young pitching so well, you can get by with one guy that's problematic, but Rogers and Bassett can't be problematic at the same time. If you're trying to make up the kind of ground that the Orioles are trying to make up, and you know what? They've done a fairly decent job in making up some ground. Tampa has come back to earth. They've been swept twice in the last 10, 12 days, once by us, 3 games, and now the Tigers go in there, and the Tigers weren't playing good baseball.
No,
Tigers swept them. And the Yankees, of course, let's pull out the violins, shall we?
Is that what the violin sounds
That's
like?
a violin. Yeah. That's the way I play the violin. They've got a guy named Aaron Judge on the IL with a stress fracture in his rib. We'll have more on that in this week and the rest of baseball. But the Orioles head north of the border tonight. They will play the Toronto Blue Jays, and Brandon Young is going to be pitching tonight, correct?
Correct.
Against Trey Yasevich.
Trey Yasevich versus Brandon Young.
And that game time tonight is 7:07. Tomorrow is 3:07.
Yep.
And Sunday is 1:30.
137.
1:37.
They love the sevens.
They love sevens.
Yeah, they
up
love
there,
sevens.
yeah.
In Toronto.
Maybe they like James Bond. He's 007.
Yeah,
probably. Maybe. Hey, here's what we've got on the show today. And by the way, the Orioles, winners of 9 of their last 13 games. So the Orioles are in...
Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. They're tied for third place in the division with the Toronto Blue Jays at 30 and 33. I believe they're tied.
Yes, correct. Yeah, they both have the same record.
Right. And, again, they're not within shouting distance of the Yankees and the Rays, but, again, there are some problems with both teams, so you could see the Orioles picking up some ground, perhaps. And it starts tonight at 7:07. Here's what we've got on the show today. Former Stan the Fan intern, now turned chief marketing officer of the Baltimore Orioles. He's had a lot of interesting career positions in between, but he's the chief marketing officer of the Baltimore Orioles. Mark Fine is going to join us and talk about the club's the impact the better play will have on attendance. Will it really impact attendance here in Baltimore? And we'll talk about Mark as he enters, well, he's half or a third of the way through his second season in that position as chief marketing officer of the Baltimore Orioles. But 11:15, 11:18, somewhere in there, we're going to be joined by, for our first conversation with Forrest Herrmann, director of pitching for the Baltimore Orioles organization. Used to be like the position used to be called, I'm trying to think what Rick Peterson's job was called. He was director of minor league pitching, I guess. So Forrest Herrmann is leading the charge, and we'll talk to Forrest, find out how he came to the Baltimore Orioles.
Rick was the director of pitching development.
Pitching development. That's the title I like. And what was interesting, and I'd like to talk to our guest, Forrest Herrmann, about, is he on the same page? Does he view Dave Wallace as sort of his boss, or does he view himself as the lead guy in the organization? How closely aligned are the pitching philosophies of not Dave? What did I just say? Who's the pitching? Drew French. Did I say Dave Wallace? Drew French.
Who's Dave Wallace?
Dave Wallace used to be the pitching coach under Buck Showalter, and he and Rick Peterson.
You're just 10 years late today, I think.
He and Rick Peterson did not see eye to eye at all. So, in other words, you'd had a minor league guy teaching things, and then they'd get to the major leagues and be told, well, don't pay attention to what you learned in the minor leagues. That's you got to have the oars in your canoe.
Synergy, yeah.
You got to have the oars, both oars in the same direction, you know. So we'll find out about the importance of that. We'll find out about how analytically driven Forrest Herrmann is, and we'll talk to him about some of the names that we've heard: Levi Wells, Trey Gibson, Nestor Germain, Joseph Durza.
One day you'll get it right. Zerwa.
Yeah.
It's
like a Z.
There's no D. The silent D.
Silent D. Zerwa.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's or it's Zerwa. So now you got me questioning myself.
It's Joe D. Can we call him Joe D?
We can call him Joe D.
You know, Joe DiMaggio's been gone for long enough. I think we can call him.
There's a new Joe D in town?
Joseph Zerwa.
There you go.
I think that's it. We can call him Joe D. But we'll talk about Luis De Leon. We'll talk about his impact.
I'm interested in Esteban Mejia, maybe.
Yeah, Esteban Mejia. We'll talk to him about his impact on one Brandon Young and what he thinks of Cade Povich, his possibilities of eventually helping the team. So that's all ahead on the show today. We'll have a look at my power rankings as they're in progress for the week 11, and we'll have a look into this week in the rest of baseball. Hockey series, an exciting win last night by the Hurricanes.
Last night. Oh, my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Jeez.
The Hurricanes came back from 2-0 to take a 3-2 lead.
They were down 2-0 with 9 minutes left.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there were, 4 goals scored in the last 9 minutes.
Yes.
3 by Carolina to take the lead. And then with about 1:20 to go,
Vegas got on a power play.
Yeah. How did they get a power? What idiot would have gotten a penalty?
What did the Carolina guy? I'm trying to remember now because I forget to. Yeah, I forget to. What did the Carolina guy
terrible
do? Was it? Oh, it was interference. He just hip checked the guy. That wasn't like he blindsided him and hip checked him. It was a very dumb. It was a very dumb play. Obviously there was an unbelievable save by Frederick Anderson, the Carolina keeper, which was a little controversial, but they blew the whistle, so they called it dead. I mean, it was a tough.
But nobody
tough
could hear the whistle.
Right, exactly. Because the 20,000 screaming Caniacs, plus probably 10,000 more people outside the arena.
So went into overtime, and then with about 4 minutes gone in
overtime,
4 minutes something like that, Carolina scored a goal, and
who scored that goal, Stan?
I do not know.
Seth Jarvis, your guy.
Mr. Jarvis.
Yeah,
I call him Mr. J.
Are you a Carolina fan because you're a Carolina guy or no?
I would prefer to see Carolina beat Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sort of a Carolina guy because I lived.
You're a Caniac.
I lived in Durham.
Yeah, you're a Caniac.
I'm like kind of a Duke guy too.
Well, we don't like that part. I don't really. I didn't want to. That's why I said Carolina.
You think Duke sucks? Don't
I do.
you?
Yeah, I do. I do think Duke sucks.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people feel that way. Maybe in
I think a
Baltimore.
lot of people do. I think in Baltimore.
If
we polled the first 10 people we saw on the street today, I think it might almost be unanimous, 10-0.
It depends upon the people that you chose.
No, I think.
If I chose the people, like if I walked up to
well,
a
that's
little
what would have.
lady,
It had to be a poll.
If I walked up to a little old lady,
I think she would.
Or
think.
a little kid.
I think they would both
think they'd
Duke
say
sucks.
that Duke sucks. No, I don't think.
I think so. I think so. We walk out on the street. We walk out on the LaSalle Road. The first 10 people we see right now, and
okay.
Yeah. See, there we go. 1 for 1.
John Colson thinks Duke sucks. All right. Not controversial. Not controversial at all. By the way, John Shire. The Dallas Mavericks don't think he sucks. They're attempting to talk to him and Dusty May.
I mean, why not?
They're
I guess.
They're not.
You might as well. You
They're
might
not
as well.
leaving
I don't
their
think so
jobs.
either. I don't think so either. I mean, I don't know unless Dallas offers an ungodly amount of money, right? Like that's the. But yeah, I mean, Dusty just want to.
I think Shire.
I wouldn't see either.
I
of them.
think Shire's good enough to do both jobs at the same time. You know,
I don't think he can barely do his Duke job.
he does a pretty good job. You think he sucks?
Yeah, he goes to Duke. He went to Duke, coaches Duke, played for Duke. Yeah, he sucks. He's one of the worst humans I could think of. You gotta be honest. Yeah.
Really?
Worse than you.
Wow.
I know.
That's
really saying
saying
something. That really is
That's
saying something.
Anything else you want to get off your chest?
No, I guess not. NBA Finals Game 2, we got that going on.
Oh, that's
tonight,
right.
too.
That's Game 2 tonight. A surprising, not shocking, but I think a surprising win by the New York Knicks on the road.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I still think it's going to be a very good series, and I picked the Spurs to win the series, and I'm not getting off the bandwagon just yet.
Good. All right.
But it was interesting, the conversation, and I respect players of the caliber of Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Charles Barkley adamant that Victor Wembanyama can't handle Towns.
Close. You were close.
Wemby. Wemby.
Yeah, you stick with Wemby.
It's Wemby.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. You stick with that.
I call him Dr. Vic.
Wembanyama.
I call him Dr. Vic.
That works too.
Yeah, okay. But having said that, do you think he can handle Towns?
I mean, I think he's going to have to make some sort of adjustment, obviously, for tonight. But yeah, I mean, that was, I think, the most. Yeah, to your point, what Charles and Shaq and Kenny were all saying, like was the most impressive.
Kenny wasn't buying.
He wasn't buying the cat.
He wasn't
the
buying that
Towns,
Wembanyama can't handle.
Wemby.
Wemby.
There you go.
Wembanyama.
Nope.
Wembanyama.
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 Nope.
Okay.
No. Wem.
Let's go back to Zerza.
Okay.
Zerwa. I got that one right.
Yeah, I think so.
And Wemby.
There you go. Yeah. Stick with that.
I have a little problem in my senior years, you know.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good, Stan.
Okay. I'll take a look at my power rankings at some point in the show today. And do we have Forrest now?
I believe we do.
Okay, I didn't know that. There he is. He's on the screen. Forrest, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Hey, Stan, thanks for having me.
Or actually, it's not nighttime. It's daytime. I'm sorry.
Stan thinks it's nighttime.
Can you pronounce Victor Wembanyama?
Wow, you're gonna really break me into the show.
Yeah. How about Joseph Zerwa? Can you pronounce that name?
We can do that one around here.
All right. Let's start with him for a second because it's been a long time since the Orioles have invested draft capital as high as they did last year in picking Zerwa. He's coming along pretty nicely, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been incredible to watch him settle into the professional routine. He's worked incredibly hard to prepare his body, from the moment he got to the complex last summer through the off season, and you're seeing the fruits of that labor. It was great to see him in the spring breakout game and then, really put it together in A-ball and earn a new challenge.
I'm sure you don't like to put time limits on people. Is it possible he could end the year in Norfolk this year? Is that a possibility, or you don't even want to start projecting that type of speed?
Hey, let's let him be where his feet are,
Okay.
competing night in, night out, and if he keeps pitching great, he'll control his own destiny there.
All right. Fair enough. Before we talk about some other specific names, I wanted to talk a little bit about your background. How did you come to the Orioles? I know it was through Cincinnati, but Cincinnati, I think, liked you. So why did they allow the Orioles to talk to you?
That's a great question.
They shouldn't have, should they?
Maybe I was fortunate. My wife's from Northern Virginia, and this overall was a great personal situation for me. At the part of my upbringing as a coach, I was really fortunate to have fortunately crossed paths with John Means when he was in the minor leagues. So I had some introduction to the organization, and had worked with John Um, and he broke out with the help of many others that were already in the Orioles organization. But there was some familiarity. There was change happening in Cincinnati, and maybe it was just the right time, and I had the right family situation that they were, nice enough to let me come out east.
So you came to the Orioles as simply a single A pitching coach, correct?
Correct.
And now in 4 short years, you're director of pitching for the organization right now. Talk a little bit about how rapidly you advance. We're asking you about how rapid players can advance, but how did you? I know part of it was Chris Holt left the organization, but how did you advance so quickly?
I think that while I didn't have the traditional background, having some of the skills I had learned in the facility world of how to organize programs, help integrate different technologies, put me in a position once I was fortunate enough to earn the opportunity to be on the bench, coach, help these guys. It took me some time, like anybody, but started to figure out how can we merge all of this. And I've been really fortunate to align with the organization and our players in we call it a growth mindset. That's cliche, but I try to learn from those around me. And I was fortunate when Chris Holt was the pitching coach. He spent plenty of time and energy helping develop me and things I hadn't seen yet in the game and what's around the corner. And I try to learn from our veteran pitchers that are here currently and have been here and really try to be a melting pot of good information, but you know, good experience from different areas and not trying to do it one way, but do it the way the player needs it done for them and hearing where they're at and where we need to be coming from. So those are things that change when you go from a facility to getting into professional baseball and the whole dynamic changes. And I was really lucky to have people pour into me that had been there. Major league pitching coaches, even initially it was college pitching coaches, different pitching coordinators in the game that they tried to help me out. And I try to return the favor and help players get better. And I was fortunate enough to have buy-in with the guys here, and it's really coming from the place of how can we help you? So
Well, I
that's
wanted,
how we made it.
yeah, okay. I wanted to ask you a question that's been kind of burning inside me. I've done talk radio and done press box for 20 years here in Baltimore, so I've been on the air for over 40 years. When Buck Showalter was managing the team, Dan Duquette had hired a person in your position named Rick Peterson. Do you know Rick at all? Know the name?
I don't know him personally, but I do know the name and obviously the track record of development here and things he had put in place. I think he predated Chris Holt for quite some time.
Yes. So the question I have is, when I would talk to Rick, I got pretty friendly with Rick for a couple of years, and he told me that he was a Duquette hire, and Showalter had at the time Dom Cheedy was the bullpen coach at the major leagues, and Dave Wallace was his pitching coach. And he said, when I would talk to them about my philosophies, they looked at me like I had four heads. And in other words, it sounded like he would teach things in the minor leagues. They'd get to the majors and they'd say, no, you don't need to listen to that. We do it this way. How closely aligned are you with Drew French, and how important is that?
Yeah, incredibly important. And we're working incredibly hard to take that alignment even to the next level with my position this year and being able to learn more, be around more, and ensure that we are taking the best of the best information, methodologies, philosophies that are going to scale and recognizing players in the minor leagues are in different positions in their career. They may not be ready for this or they may not be ready for that and are focusing on that, but us being prepared to not only meet them where they're at, but hopefully help see around the corner of what they're about to come across has been something I think through. It's amazing to see Brandon Young and some of these guys find their footing. And to us, it's trying to learn through them and from them of they got their first taste. How did it go? And when you're in this to help people and help the players, you're willing to continue to evolve as a pitching program and as coaches. And the alignment with Drew, Ryan Klemick, and them is far greater than just throw these types of pitches here. It's what are the types of people that come into this environment and can succeed, and it's a process to instill those core values and to develop pitchers capable of doing these things. And it's so hard, as we know,
I'm
but
very well aware of it. Yep.
we've done our best as a group and have done our best to recognize, do we need to bring in different perspectives and different ideas into the group? And we've tried to do that to meet our players where they need to be and make sure we're hitting on the fronts that they need in the different angles.
Griffin has a question for you.
Yeah, Forrest. Since you mentioned Brandon Young, I guess I'm kind of curious. Is there did there happen to be anything like over the last couple weeks that was explicitly like kind of worked on or changed? Because obviously Bradish started a little bit slow to the year. So did Boz. So did Trevor Rogers. Obviously had a few bumps, but now Trevor Rogers' last two starts looked really good. Bradish and Boz have looked really, really good the last couple of weeks. Same with Brandon Young. Is there anything at the big league level that has changed to kind of that's led to that stronger stretch of starting pitching and obviously full team success?
Yeah, with Brandon in particular, this is documented online on the splitter adjustment and being able to kill some velocity and vertical break and create more separation off of his fastball. We're fortunate to have really good information and really good tools to help us when the game's telling us it's the right time for a player. A variety of things go into when these adjustments are made. It's not always as do this right now as it may seem, but it was the right time. He was ready to make the adjustment, and he made it incredibly quick in his midweek bullpen. And with the help of the pitching coaches there, he took it into game a few days later and has pitched great with it. So in that case, Brandon BY did all the hard stuff. He was the one throwing the ball, and we were able to use good information and help him learn a new trick quick in the season.
When you mentioned before the tools, I guess you're talking about sort of the technological tools and the metrics, background that the organization is steeped in now. From when you joined the organization in 22, how much more front line are the Orioles in terms of technology right now? Is it been a remarkable change?
Remarkable is a good way to put it. And I can't speak on the years prior, but I know that my first year in the organization when I joined was right around the same time that we were able to start scaling some of these technologies. Yeah. And then Hawkeye came in, and it's been a lot of work on building infrastructure to help coaches coach really well and give players the best information and continuing to figure out how do we deliver that information in ways that they need it so that we are helping them build these skills and these pitches, velocity, and keeping them on the field. And at the same time, not missing the main point and playing the game.
We're talking with Forrest Herrmann, the Orioles director of pitching in the minor leagues. Tell me about your relationship with Thomas Eshelman. Eshelman has the same title on the pitching side that Mike Schild has on the position player side. Are you technically Thomas's boss, or is it very collaborative between the two of you?
Yeah, Thomas and I, we work great together, and it's a total team effort. I mean, in terms of bringing in perspectives we didn't have, that's a great example of it, and helping us round out our approach as a pitching department. So he was very much empowered, and I guess I do have to break it. It's out there, but he joined Texas Christian University as their pitching coach recently.
I did not know
So,
that. Okay, I'm sorry.
yep.
Okay.
No worries. I'll speak in past tense, but
Yeah.
the work that he did has really set us up to continue to build on. And the relationship with the pitching director and his coordinators and his coaches isn't do this, do that. It's bringing people in with skills and expertise to help you.
So that's a good point that leads into my question, because I never miss a chance when I make a faux pas to move right along. Do you get to choose who replaces Thomas Esselman, or is that a Mike Elias job?
Falls on me to get to work on finding our next good person for that role, or for person for that role, or for any role in our department. But we aren't in a situation. It's a one person call here. We work together, and it's part of the best idea winning. And we try to make sure we have the right minds in the room, or we're talking to these people to make sure it fits not just what we want on paper, but fits our ecosystem of people.
Okay. Griffin has one more for you, then I've got one more for you, and then we'll just ask you about a couple names, and then we'll let you get out of here, Mike. Forrest, go ahead.
Actually, I did want to mention one name, and just one of the much younger guys who's pretty low right now, but a lot of exciting kind of stats coming out with him, and that's Esteban Mejia, and kind of and maybe I could ask it more broadly. How do you go about finding guys like Esteban Mejia, and what's the process been like for him right now? As we know, he's touching triple digits as he's developing at the lower levels.
Yeah, no doubt. Finding kids like Esteban is incredibly challenging, and I want to give Kobe Perez and his group a lot of credit for the hard work they've been doing, building the program from seemingly the ground up. Esteban development isn't linear, and we're really proud of the work he's done so far and handling some challenging environments. With that being said, he no question throws hard, has great stuff. He's learning to pitch. He's learning to throw strikes, and sometimes development's messy. I know that is a common phrase thrown around, and we're doing our best to give him patience, the right learning environment, and guidance to be able to figure this out with his best stuff. And he had a nice outing last night, and a lot of credit to the coaches and coordinators that have been working with him there, and hopefully he can continue to build some momentum.
So that Griffin's question was something I was going to ask you about, was that Kobe Perez sort of came on board a few years before you, a couple of years before you, and the organization, just like they've put a lot of money and resources into technology, they've put a lot of money and resources into an academy down in the Dominican, and signing international players much more than they ever did 10, 20 years ago. Tell me a little bit about, and you don't have to mention names today, but in 4 or 5 years, will this roster on the major league level always have 2 or 3 international players, that are pitchers that are substantial?
Yeah, we'll see how everything shakes out, but I have full confidence in our program to continue to improve it, bringing those guys in, transitioning them to the U.S., and then getting them through affiliate ball. And it's one of those things where when you have a new program, seeing their teammates, seeing their buddies go do it, and the guy I trained next to and worked out next to at the complex, and sometimes you think you're better than your peers, so it becomes a easier challenge to compartmentalize and to go attack. And I think that we're starting to see the fruits of that labor and preparing that next wave to see what success looks like. And Luis De Leon is a great example of that. Yaber Cartaya, Yaki Rivera was acquired in a trade, but those players have been woven into amongst others, the fabric of our international pitching program, and are going to be the great examples for the guys that are coming behind them.
Tell me a little bit about three names. Trey Gibson, who we've seen a little bit at the major league level, Nestor German, Levi Wells, and I'm going to throw a fourth name in because I'd love to know where you think Cade Povich can eventually fit on this ball club.
Yeah, four great pitchers there. It's been incredible to see Trey and Nestor compete together, compete against each other through the minor leagues. They both came, end of the draft, non-drafted free agents. So they came in with that growth mindset and with that just incredible focus and work ethic that they've not let off the gas one bit, and they've continued to stack skills, but they've continued to learn that at different levels and different parts of the game, it's going to call for different parts of my brain, different parts of, is it my delivery and learning to develop velocity? It is early, and it's learning how to pitch late, and you're starting to see Trey, Nestor, you're starting to see Levi learn to go deeper into games, and it's part of the process for those guys, but they have worked incredibly hard to build the foundational skills. And I think we really believe in them as all four of those guys as humans to be able to get through the challenges early in a major league career, and that initial, for some players, shock, and other times they're able to handle it incredibly well. And I think we were able to see Trey Gibson do that in Yankee Stadium against Tampa, and even Cam Weston the other night in a close game.
Forrest, my last question for you is about a pitcher on the major league roster right now who I look at, and early in the year he had great success, and this is Anthony Nunez, in leverage situations, not necessarily a closer per se, but he was pitching in the 7th, 8th innings quite a bit. But when I look at him, and now he's struggling, I see a guy who's raw in terms of his pitching, how long he's pitched. Do you see a guy there that could possibly be more of a starting pitcher? I'm always looking at pitchers when they struggle, thinking that the role they're in is part of the problem. Do you think he could be a starting pitcher one day?
I mean, he certainly throughout the minor leagues showed a big arsenal. And I mean, strike throwing, well, he's certainly learning at the major league level and experiencing different situations, workload. And he's overall, handled this thing pretty well. But struggles are what can reveal what you're made of.
Yeah.
And I certainly think a lot of fun to see him just continue to get out there, continue to get comfortable in this league, and go from there.
Really appreciate your coming on with us. I have regards to you. I had dinner last night with Steve Molesky, and he says he was raving about you, and he says he's going to be in touch to grab you for an interview. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Stan.
Really appreciate it. Okay?
All righty. Thank you. Take care.
All right. That's Forrest Herrmann, Director of Pitching with the Orioles organization. Impressive young man. Yeah. And let's hope the organization is in good hands there with him right now with terms of the pitching growth. Mark Fine's going to join us. He's the CFO, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of the Baltimore Orioles. And
you got another show coming up next week?
Yep, we're going to do Monday at about 3:30.
All right.
Monday 3:30. Luke Jackson, Ross Grimsley, and yours truly, Stan the Fan.
You too.
As the Orioles are in town that night, 6:35 against the Mariners. But Chief Marketing Officer of the ball club, Mark Fine, joins us right after these commercial words. This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bill Ordine dives in on how different Preakness will be temporarily at Laurel Park and then long-term once it returns to Pimlico. Also inside, Luke Jackson learns more about what Trey Hendrickson will bring to the Ravens. And Karuga Koinange looks at how Samuel Basayo is influencing the Orioles' international signing efforts. Press Box is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Hi, everyone. There's nothing I love more than hearing Stan the Fan and Griffin talk baseball. Here they are.
That's your good friend.
Who was that again?
That was your good friend, right?
Yeah.
Old Cal?
That's Cal.
Yeah.
Cal Ripken. Okay. We are back on the Friday Baseball Show. Joining us momentarily will be Mark Fine, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of the Baltimore Orioles. And there's a familiar face. He's always smiling, Mark Fine. How are you, Mark?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We just had a very nice conversation with Forrest Herrmann, director of pitching in the minor leagues. Very impressive.
Yeah, a very impressive guy. Absolutely.
Yeah. He likes all that technology that he's got access to.
Well, I tell you, you go out to Frederick or Bowie or Delmarva right now, you got to check it out. It is pretty amazing. The baseball center that was built in all three locations. I went out to Frederick a couple weeks ago, and again, as you know, Stan, I used to work there, and I was blown away by how first class it was, and just what an advantage our minor leaguers are going to have by having access to this, beginning at the lowest levels of minor league ball.
You know, it's interesting. I'm planning to get out to Frederick when the Orioles go out to the West Coast. I can go out and catch a game and then get back and watch the O's. So I'm planning to get out there. So
yeah, you should. And you know, we're on the air right now. Let me know if you need to get in touch with the great people over there at Tain Sports, who owns Frederick and Bowie, now Chesapeake. They're really good people. I know that it's made a difference. Our affiliation back with Frederick this year for the first year in some time is going over really well, and Frederick, the Frederick Keys, we've got a really good team there this year.
They do have a good team. Are they drawing very well?
They
there?
are.
Yeah.
They're drawing very well, and that's nice to see.
Yeah.
Frederick was. I have a soft spot in my heart for them. It's a wonderful community. It's far. I mean, I worked there '01 to '04, and it's far different now than it was earlier in the early in the century. But
Are they still
yeah,
shaking
shake your keys.
shaking keys?
Shake your
Okay.
keys. They still do that. Seventh inning stretch.
All right, great.
But it is really impressed with their business and the level of fandom from. It's a great thing that the Orioles are back in Frederick.
Wanted to ask you, we talk all the time when we talk to a Forrest Herrmann or a Craig Albernaz or Mike Elias, you talk to them about technology. From a marketing side of pro sports, is technology a tool that you're able to use to better promote the product?
Well, technology is used and data is used throughout our business, right? I mean, that's the thing about sports marketing, especially when you're at a team, is that your level of brand sentiment is almost like an EKG machine. It goes up and down, and a lot of that has to do with wins and losses and just how passionate our fans are about the product. We are, your favorite teams are part of your identity. So you don't have many people who have Walmart or Target tattoos. You have far more people who have Baltimore Orioles tattoos. So for us, I mean, we're constantly monitoring.
You want to see my Walmart tattoo?
I'll hold off. But we're constantly monitoring our ticket sales trends and seeing what works and what resonates, not only from a ticket sales end, but all the content that our group here in the marketing department puts out. We're very public facing. We oversee our social media channels, all of our video and photography, our game presentation here at the ballpark. And it's all about what engages most with our fans. And there's a lot of hits and there's some misses. And we learn from those. And that's where we use technology and data to help make those decisions.
One of the things I've noticed since you took over is you're not sitting back and just waiting for the team to be good and win. You actually came in last year. Shockingly, the team was pretty bad last year, and yet you really went hand-to-hand combat to market. That's your that's in your DNA to go hand-to-hand, and retail it.
Yeah, and again, it's there's a really good team here of marketing professionals that I'm fortunate enough to work with, and we took the approach, particularly this offseason. I mean, a few of us came in at the beginning of last season, and things were kind of already in motion. But we took this offseason, and we took our 2026 schedule, and we said, hey, we really want to try and get people in here earlier in the season, more so than later in the season. Typically in baseball, a single game ticket buyer goes to 1.2 games a year. So a little bit more than one. If you can get that person earlier in the season to come to a game, to come to that next game, and you do that by a certain percentage number, you're in good shape. But if you think about, for your listeners right now or your viewers right now, if you think about, hey, I come to 3 games a year, for us, our goal is, hey, how do we get you to that 4th game?
Yeah.
Or how do we entice you to look at one of our plans? And whether that's a flex package or our plan starting at 20 games, our reserve plan starting at 20 games. So that's something that we put a lot of focus on. And you're right, we cannot control what happens on the field as marketers. We want the team to win.
You keep your fingers crossed a lot.
You certainly do. And look, just like we can't control the weather, that's another thing. And you do the very best that you can. And you hope for the best, both on weather and in team performance, but you can't solely rely on those things when strategizing how you want to bring people out to the ballpark.
Griff, I know you got a couple.
Yeah, Griffin Bass here, Mark. Good to chat with you. And one of those things that you guys can control, and I guess I kind of want to praise you a bit, is you mean there are so many different theme nights that you guys have now, and those, like, for example, like a lot of my friends who are not necessarily like baseball diehards, but they will come up and be like, "Wow, there's an anime night or Turnstile night." My one friend's a big Turnstile fan, and my mom is really into Bravo, and as soon as she saw there was a Bravo night, she was like, "Well, how can we get tickets to that?" So. How do you guys come up with those, and like what goes into what can be a theme night, and why? Like why that night?
And let me just piggyback that. The theme nights, will they be the same every year, or you're constantly looking for new ones?
Well, appreciate both questions. And Sarah from our team leads up our special ticket packages and heritage nights. And you're right, Griffin, we have a whole lot more this year than we did a year ago. And we reintroduced special ticket packages to the mix last year after not having it for a handful of years, is my understanding. But this year we went even deeper with the nights that you suggested. Those nights that you suggested are IP nights in a way, intellectual property, because the anime, the Turnstile, the Bravo nights require some work on the back end of working with those individual properties, whereas the heritage nights, like coming up, we have Greek Heritage Night and Japanese Heritage Night next week. Those are working with individual organizations, and we had Jewish Heritage Night, and we work with the Associated, the Jewish Federation of Baltimore, and to reach the Jewish community in Baltimore. So for us is that our thought is that Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, every Friday is a party at the yard Friday. Our demographic is a younger, whether that's also our Friday student night, that's also a crowd that wants to get off of work and go down to the ballpark and maybe have a drink. It's a younger audience. So we've programmed that way. Saturday is our everybody. And we were very careful about 4:05 games versus 7:05 games, depending on weather and how warm, hot, or cold it would be. And we put our very best promotions on there, like a Nelly post-game concert, and then Sundays, Family Sundays, and where most of our games are matinee games, 1:35 p.m. games, and they're very geared towards families and kids. But on Monday through Thursday, and also into some of the weekend dates, is those special ticket packages you mentioned. Again, you look at our last homestand, we had Jewish Heritage Night on a Tuesday, and we had Bark at Oriole Park on that Wednesday or Thursday. And you can see the lift that we had of people that were there for those specific reasons. And that's about drawing different audiences and bringing people in. Turnstile is a band that has won a few Grammy Awards, and I'm going to talk like an older guy when I talk about Turnstile, but I look at them a little bit more as like a punk rock in a way. Well, that's being different. That's our mantra this year is to fly different. That's us trying to bring different audiences here. We had a Tupac bobblehead, and then a Turnstile special ticket package. Those are very two different genres of music, but we welcome all of them here, and we are celebrating all of them at our ballpark.
Got to ask you a question about the giveaways. I know it's not just Orioles, but they give away either 15,000 or 20,000 of most giveaways. Do you get a lot of people that actually don't get what they wanted to come for? And how do you kind of handle that?
So there's occasions where you do get where that is the case. I mean, we're pretty mathematical about and analytical about what's a 15,000 versus a 20,000. Some of our kids' giveaways are either 5 or 10,000. So
right.
we work with our business analytics teams to, make sure that we're reaching the audience that is wanting to come for that giveaway. And the other thing that we introduced this year, which is completely new and completely new to Major League Baseball, is a true guaranteed giveaway with a reserved membership. And that means that's not this. Other baseball teams have had, yes, you're guaranteed the giveaway, but you'd be getting it after the fact.
Okay.
We actually guarantee it at a gate that you can come through anytime that night until the 5th inning, that you're going to be guaranteed your giveaway item. And that's something that has been, in talking to our Birdland members, that's been probably one of the biggest benefits ads that we've had in quite some time.
That's really resonated with people.
It's really resonated. And again, you think about before this year is that it was a first 15,000 or a first 20,000, and this year it is 15,000 or 20,000. But those Birdland members who come through, they can take their time getting to the ballpark and know that when they arrive, they're going to be given a giveaway.
Talk a little bit about the Truist Club this year.
Yeah.
It's the newest. It took the old press box away, did a nice job replacing it. Talk a little bit about the Truist Club, and has it been a success so far?
It really has been a success, and it's a great addition to our ballpark for that level of clientele, of folks who certainly are looking to conduct business here at Camden Yards or take clients here, or those folks who want to bring family and friends. But it's definitely been more of a B2B marketing play, and the space itself is incredible. And I think I'm the marketing guy, right? And I probably didn't do a good enough job of showing how great that space was, because we were using these renderings that perhaps don't do it justice. When you go in person and see it, welcome folks to reach out to us and grab a tour so they can see the space in action. It is fantastic, and it is a great view. At a lot of ballparks, you'll have that type of club, that type of premium club will be lower. It will be right around home plate. And you'll see a lot of empty seats around home plate, because it's not that those seats aren't sold, but those people are inside where they are not able to look out at the ballpark. They're great home plate seats. They have to come and go from inside the bowels of the ballpark where the club is to then take their seat. This is where you have a behind home seat vantage point, and you have a climate-controlled, beautiful premium club in the Truist Club that are all there. And it's something that, for folks that are interested, please get in touch with us, because we'd love to give you a tour and see it for yourself. It is one of those things, like, you have to see it. You have to see it live to really have it sink in.
For the people that invest in that, is the food part of the package
Correct.
for them? I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah, food and beverages are part of that, and it's just a wonderful place to watch a game. It is and the way that baseball is different than other sports is that the casual nature of baseball is one where you're able to just sit back and watch, and you can have a great conversation with friends, family, or business partners while still watching the game at the same time.
Griff?
How important have these other stadium upgrades been for you guys
that's a
this
great
year?
question.
And types of how much feedback have you guys gotten, like from the scoreboard, the sound system, obviously?
Yeah, Griffin, it's been huge. After every homestand, we meet as a company to go through our post-survey results, and the game experience, particularly as it's related to our newer space and the technology upgrades that we've made, are very noticeable in our survey results. So I'm fortunate to work with a great game presentation team, and the music, how we've integrated more statistics as part of the scoreboard itself, and using our out-of-town scoreboard, which, remember, was just an out-of-town scoreboard in the past. We're utilizing that board because everybody pretty much has access to out-of-town scores. We're using more of that real estate to have more baseball statistics on there. And then we're doing fun things, like at Bark at the Park, we had each player was their headshot was a dog that could be adopted through Barks that night.
Star Wars
These are
Day,
some of the these are some of the creative things. At Star Wars weekend, you saw that both teams were represented by good and evil characters. So we're having a lot more creativity and fun with the boards, and I think our fans have noticed that.
Mark, we're going to let you go in a couple minutes. I just got to ask you, the club's won 9 of 13 games. You alluded to the fact it's kind of like an EKG, watching the fans' response to the team. Are you getting a vibe? You can't predict how the team's going to play, but are you getting a vibe that the fans are a little bit more engaged now? I know they're engaged, but a little bit more optimistic, and you think that can translate into a little bit of a bounce?
I certainly think so, and we're feeling it. You start to see look. It shows in engagement with your social content. It shows in ticket sales. It shows in viewership on Masson. So the sentiment that's out there, and this is Stan. This is a good team, and that didn't get off to us maybe the start that they wanted to. But it's nice to see our starting pitching and things really are hitting all working at the same time now. And credit to Albie and the team on the field. They the players, they're really good guys, and they've got great chemistry with each other. And as you hear them say after games right now, that they kind of they knew that they were good, and that they just needed to go out there and prove it a bit more, and they're doing that. And so it is really nice to see that happening right now.
David Rubenstein invested a lot of money in Pete Alonso. It pays back in a lot of different ways, but he is really elite, not taking anything away from a Gunnar Henderson or Adley, but you can see he's a veteran leader. What has he been like to work with?
He's fantastic. Just a great guy. He gets it. He bought a house here in Baltimore. He struck up the relationship with Barks because animal adoption is something near and dear to him. So he's donated to local causes. Turnstile was for a while his walk-up song, and Turnstile's a Baltimore band, as we just talked about.
Yeah.
Like he truly is ingratiating himself to the city, and that's so invaluable from a marketing perspective.
Just want to say, from a media perspective, the team that you have under you, Jennifer Grandal in public relations with Jackie Harrig, Nate Rowan, Jack Eidelberg, they do a terrific job. It's a really good team.
Yeah, they're a great team. Q's in there doing translating, and Leah
Q
as
great.
well. Yeah, I mean, our PR team's really fantastic, and fortunate to have them. They care greatly about the Orioles, and they work a ton of hours, but they just cared so deeply about the Orioles and Orioles fans.
Just one last thing, David Rubenstein. I know you technically work for Katie Griggs. She's your boss, but do you get some FaceTime with David and Mike Arrighetti, and how devoted are they to this team?
Yeah, I mean, I do get some FaceTime here and there, and they're very dedicated, devoted owners who
do they ask about me? Do they ask about me a lot?
Whenever that I see them, they're how's Stan? But David, they're just wonderful people, and they care greatly about the community and about the team. And yeah, I know Mike is a diehard baseball fan and loves being an owner, and David loves baseball as well and loves Baltimore and has Baltimore roots, and they're just really good people to work for. They care deeply and they invest.
Mark Fine, pleasure to have you on. We'll do it again sometime. What's coming up this next homestand? Tell us.
Yeah, this next homestand, we're home from June 8th to the 14th, Monday through Sunday.
4 against Seattle and 3 against San Diego.
That's correct.
Is there a hate Manny Machado night?
Oh, we love Manny.
Yeah, we don't have that. Don't have that. We've got Greek Heritage Night on Tuesday. We've got our next Bark at Oriole Park, which, again, was really popular. This last homestand is on Wednesday. On Thursday is Japanese Heritage Night, which was rescheduled, which is also doing really well this year. We had Sagano on the team last year. We're selling twice as many packages, even though Sagano's not on the team. So Japanese Heritage is going really well. We've got our Party at the Yard Friday on Friday. We got a soccer jersey giveaway on Saturday. And then Family Sunday is a Diary of a Wimpy Kid giveaway as well. So,
and the kids run the bases.
And kids run the bases every family
They love
Sunday.
that, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've really added to, you've probably seen, we've had kids PA announcers. We have kids take the field on Sundays. It's a really fun day for families.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
You're doing a great job.
Appreciate you.
Proud of you, buddy. All right.
Take care.
There's Mark Fine, Chief Marketing Officer of the Baltimore Orioles. Are we taking a timeout now?
Yeah, we should take a timeout.
We'll take a timeout.
Before we do that,
Yeah,
I do
go
want to
ahead.
make sure I mention countysports.zone, of course. We do appreciate them. Spring sports are in the books, Stan, but that means the fall is coming
Right
up.
around the corner.
It is. So you can head there. You can get all the info you're going to need for all your fall sports, or you can look back at what happened in the spring as
and
well.
that's brought to you by Toyota.com.
BioToyota.com, countysports.zone.
Okay. When we get back, we'll take a look at this week in the rest of baseball, and we'll also take a look at the MLB Power Rankings in progress. All right?
All right.
That's all coming up next on the show. Don't forget, Glenn Clark is back Monday through Thursday, 11 to 12:15, 12:30-ish.
Yeah, I sometimes push them to 1, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's a terrific talk show every day, Monday through Thursday.
It's not just Glenn, yeah, mostly because of the other guy, I think.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin Bass is
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Griffin runs everything here. We're going to be right back after these words.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in Maryland, you know you need a great lawyer. Look no further than us, Warnken LLC. You've seen my picture on billboards around town. You've seen me on TV. Now I'm lucky enough to get to be here with Stan. Please give us a call. 443-RESULTS. It is not just a phone number, it's a mission. 443-RESULTS. Or visit us online at warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
It's Gus Johnson, and you're listening to the baseball show with Griffin Bass. It's the NFL Charles!
Wow, who was that? Who was that again?
That was Gus Johnson. It wasn't obvious.
It wasn't obvious to me.
That was Gus Johnson. It sounded like he was, final 30
He
seconds
might
of
have
a baseball game
He
or a
might have
basketball
had
game.
like a sore throat or something.
No, it's just what he sounds like.
Yeah.
He gets up for the moments.
Okay. Wow, that's great.
Anytime he's calling an Ohio
How
State
did you
football
pull
game.
that off?
Well, I mean, I know Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. let's take who's bringing us this week in the rest of baseball this week?
Fantastic question, Stan.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
This week
in the rest of
baseball.
What do you got for us this week, Griffin Bass?
Well, it was another week of baseball, Stan, so we have baseball. That's, of course, what we got going on. I guess the biggest news, because you did touch on it a little bit at the top of the program for us, Stan, and that is the Yankees announced that Aaron Judge is pretty banged up after he'd been struggling the last couple weeks, and then they finally, I guess, got some imaging done and revealed a stress fracture in the first rib on his right side. Very detailed from the New York Yankees in their injury diagnosis, which I guess is. Which is nice, just to know exactly what's going on.
It's a tough injury.
Yes, it is. It sounds very painful, so some Yankees fans were trying to figure out when he got injured, and they're going all the way back to May 3rd during the Orioles series.
Really?
Yeah, that's when they think. So before he was
Taylor
OPSing,
Taylor Ward is the guy who caused this.
Yeah, Taylor Ward caused this. It was that catch up against the wall that Judge made back on May 3rd. He was OPSing over 1,000 before this happened,
right.
And since then he's been OPSing under 700. But yeah, here's the play. I want to make sure I play. There we go. Make sure everybody else can see. But yeah, here was the play, that fly ball out to right field, and a pretty nice catch by Judge. But you'll see.
Oh boy,
goes into the wall.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
that was that afternoon game.
Yep. Was that? I mean, they lost each game like 10-1. So I was about to say which one was that, but they were all the same. And yeah, you can see grimaced right after making the catch, and it looks like, I guess, his right elbow goes into his
brace
side.
Himself.
Yeah. So. Just like you were saying, Stan, man, just tough break for the Yankees. Gosh, you got to feel for him. Huh?
Is it on the side that he went into the wall, or actually was it the side?
It was his right. It's his right side. So it is the side that hit the wall. Yeah, it's the side that hit the wall.
Okay. Because look how extended he is when he goes up the other rib.
Oh, right, yeah, just that one being
but
stretched
it's his
out.
right rib. Yeah,
it's his right rib, according to the reports. So, courtesy of Yes, by the way.
That could be like a 6 to 8 week timetable.
They said 4 to 6. They're going to do some more imaging in 4 weeks, and then, but yeah, I mean, yes, it could very easily stretch out to 8 weeks, probably for Aaron Judge. They said he will play again. Anytime you're saying we expect him to play again this season, like that's definitely eerie. But yeah, Buster only had a good stat for me that I was going to share. You asked, is he important to the Yankees? Well, since 2020, Stan, the Yankees, when Aaron Judge is in the lineup, they are 138 games over 500.
Okay.
When he is not in the lineup, they are 8 games under 500. Okay. So, yeah, I would say
8 games.
Say,
the Orioles are like 8 games.
8 games back. Yeah, you're right. I think they're like maybe 7.5 now officially.
So
but
we can catch them.
Yeah,
we can catch
we're there.
The damn
we're there.
Yankees.
Yeah. Another
Yankees
big.
suck.
They do. They do. So you know who else sucks?
No, I don't know.
You want me to say it?
Who?
Duke.
Okay. Ohio State.
You think I was gonna?
Ohio State.
I mean, yeah, they're not cool.
Yeah, but
they're
that
not
dishonors cool. Tom Matty.
You thought I was gonna say something other than I'm wearing a Maryland logo on my shirt today, Stan.
All right. What else in this week and the rest of it?
Christopher Sanchez, pretty good pitcher. His scoreless inning streak finally comes to an end after 50 and I think it was officially 2/3 innings, but 50 innings of scoreless baseball from Christopher Sanchez, one of the.
He's got the all-time record for a left-hander.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oral Hershiser's 59 plus.
It was a very cool moment. They're in a 1-1 game against the Padres, a team they're completely or a 1-0 game, I guess, against the Padres, a team that they're neck and neck with
Jackson
in
Merrill,
the wild card
right?
race. Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill had an RBI. had the RBI. But it was a really cool moment as the entirety of Citizens Bank Park was aware of what they were witnessing, and even though a run scored, he just gave up a tying run in the 7th inning. He got a standing ovation after, so it was a cool moment. This was courtesy of NBC Sports Philly.
Left side, there's a base hit to left field. Marsh gets to it quickly, rounding third, heading for home is France. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the Padres have tied the game up at 1. And Christopher Sanchez is finally allowed a run after 50 2/3 innings. And here comes the crowd to their feet.
The Tampa Bay Rays are known to be great developers of pitchers, and they don't often let go of the really good ones. They traded for Curtis Mead, the Australian-born third baseman, now plays a little bit. I think he's with the Washington Nationals.
Yes.
But that was not a good trade. Because Christopher Sanchez has turned into a stud.
He's turned out to be pretty damn good. And he started off shaky to the year, too. And then, I think what did his ERA get up to? It was like around 5 or 6, maybe?
I didn't even realize that.
His first couple starts were a little shaky, and then he was like,
down
don't worry.
Quite a bit
it
during
did.
this streak.
Yeah, it went down just a little, not allowing a run over 50 innings. For Christopher Sanchez. But, yeah, a cool moment there is the Philly. I mean, a minute-long standing ovation, and the umpire, took a couple trips dusting off home plate to make sure he could really embellish in the moment there. So that was pretty cool for the Phillies. Phillies playing really good baseball as well, as they've passed the Padres now in the NL wildcard race. And they're like 4 games over 500, I think, 3 or 4 games over 500. So they, I mean, if we were worried about the Phillies, doesn't seem like you really need to be anymore. Zach Wheeler's back, and he's pitching really well.
He's pitching fantastic.
Yeah. So
pitching
Phillies are making history and playing good baseball. Padres, on the other hand, kind of going the other way. They're now like 3 games over 500 after that series losing the series to.
They've lost 6 in a row to Philadelphia.
Oof.
They lost 3 in San Diego and now lost 3 in Philly.
Not ideal for them.
Not good.
Ideal for them.
Not good.
Brian Bayo, who obviously we saw yesterday, he was optioned to AAA this morning.
Not a surprise based on what I saw. Yesterday.
Are you? I mean, I feel like the Bayo thing is really weird because it's a first inning thing. The first inning thing is unbelievably he just can't get out of the first inning. He pitched 7 scoreless innings against Cleveland last week because he had an opener. He came into the game in the second inning and threw 7 scoreless. He didn't allow an earned run before that.
Why wouldn't you do the same thing again?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, it doesn't. I don't know. The Red Sox aren't good. The Red Sox aren't good, obviously. And
they're the worst team in the division.
They
clearly are.
They are. But I don't like. Bayo clearly has stuff. Like he shut down the Orioles for the next 4. Then he let up a couple hits in the 5th inning. But for the next 3 innings, he completely shut down the Orioles again. So clearly he's got. Like I just don't think I understand the optioning part. I mean, I guess clearly he's got a first inning issue. But if you found a way, at least temporarily, to work around that, I don't know why you don't continue that. And it just didn't really seem fair to me that he got sent down for.
You know what's fascinating about them? They make this big trade like 9 years ago or 10 years ago for Chris Sale with the White Sox, right? They give up like 4 players for Chris Sale. And Chris Sale's pretty darn good for them. Don't they win a World Series with Chris Sale one time?
The Red Sox, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, in 2018, yeah.
And I understand it. They owed him a lot of money. But they then trade him to Atlanta. He's come back and been fantastic the last year and a half with Atlanta. And they do the same thing again. They trade 4 or 5 guys to the White Sox for Garrett Crochet, who had an injury history. Chris Sale hadn't had an injury history. And now they're without Garrett Crochet for like the last 2
I think they're hoping he comes back soon.
Yeah.
My fantasy team's hoping he comes back soon, too.
Yeah.
But
Nobody
it might not
cares.
matter.
Nobody cares.
No, they don't care about mine. What about your fantasy team? Do they care about
Everybody
yours?
cares about
They do.
the Shoebill Storks.
How are the Storks?
In 6th place.
Oh, okay.
Not
Why would
not
people
quite
care about a sixth-place team?
not quite good enough.
We obviously saw Peyton Tolley. This was the game the Orioles lost, obviously, against the Red Sox, but he looked really good. He looks to be having a lot of fun on the mound as well because he balked and then just kind of giggled about it. And then Jared Jones had a similar situation last night as well, where he started pitching from the windup and realized, oh crap, I have somebody on base, and then he ended up balking as well, and so he credited Peyton Tolley. He blamed Peyton.
Where was his
Peyton
balk?
Tolley.
That he stopped?
Yeah,
Like,
or he never stopped. You'll see.
He
I'll play the audio because they interviewed here. This is the angle. You'll see. He just keeps rocking, and so that was
Too. I think I watched the Peyton Tolley interview this morning, and I guess it just got into my mind a little bit too much, and I ended up being just like him.
Good for him. But they won the game.
Yeah. Yep. Apparently, if you balk with the guy on first, maybe you win the game. That's just.
I wonder if
way
the
it
O's
works.
could make a trade for Carmen
Majinski.
Yeah,
he looked really good. They used him in balk relief, I
or
think, last
Victor
night.
Wemby.
Yeah, stop there.
Wembenyama.
So we call him Wemby, but his full name isn't
Wembenyama.
Wembenyama. It's Wembenyama.
Wembenyama.
Victor Wembenyama.
Okay.
Yeah, your guy.
They play tonight, right? On ABC?
Yes, they do. Tonight at 8:30. Tonight at 8:30 for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Another fun one, Stan. Our friend, of course, the legendary Tom Hamilton, took a nice little. So all right. So let me paint the picture here. What's his face? Jazz Chisholm of the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
He was on Fallon on Monday night. So on Tuesday, our friend Tom Hamilton offered a somewhat subtle jab at Jazz during the game. So here it is.
That'll bring up Jazz Chisholm. Well, he predicted the Yankees will win the World Series. He did that last night on the Jimmy Fallon show. Pretty amazing. He got on the Jimmy Fallon show batting .239. He was there.
Good for Tom Hamilton.
The Empire did strike back though.
And by the way, it's not the Jimmy Fallon show.
It's Tonight Show.
It's the Tonight Show
The
with
Tonight
Jimmy
Show.
Fallon.
Oh, I think that's also a subtle jab from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Just saying we don't care about it. We don't care about the Fallon show. Just call it. We don't care what the actual name of the program is.
Of the franchise.
Yeah. So then on Wednesday night, that was Tuesday. So Monday he was on Fallon. Tuesday Tom Hamilton jabs at Jazz. Then on Wednesday, Jazz hits a home run, and Paul O'Neill was able to fire back as well for old Jazz.
High drive, right field. There it goes. See ya. How's that for Tonight Show there, Michael? Wow.
So there you go. A nice little friendly banter, harmless banter, I think, between the two. Congratulations to Texas softball, Stan. They are back-to-back Women's College World Series champions. They ran roughshod through OKC, defeating Texas Tech for the second consecutive season last night. So Texas Longhorns, Texas women's softball are your softball champions, national champions, Stan.
All right.
And then you're cutting me off?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Oh, I know, you're right. You do have to get out of here. College baseball superstar tonight, Stan. Actually, this afternoon, I think, right 25 minutes ago, Cal Poly in West Virginia started. Who's gonna winners will head to Omaha. Who's your team, Stan?
Who are the possibilities?
Well, there's 16 teams. You know all the 16 teams that are remaining.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Come on, Stan.
Maryland?
No.
Virginia?
No. There's West Virginia.
Duke?
You want to take West Virginia?
Duke?
Fun moment. No, not Duke. No.
Georgia?
Georgia. No, they. Oh, yes, Georgia is still alive.
Georgia's still alive. I'm going with Georgia.
You'll go the Bulldogs.
I got Georgia on my mind.
Okay. Got Georgia on your mind. All right, and I guess that's everything. There was an automatic check swing system brought to AAA this week. That did you want to see that?
Do we have any video?
I do have video of it. I do have video of it. It looks a little like. I don't know how to like. I feel like we don't know what the definition of a check swing is. I guess is the issue here. So here it is at AAA.
Home, and Kim checks his swing. He does not, and Kim is going to challenge.
So they say he went
this
around,
one.
and he challenges.
It's either ball 4
ACS.
or strike 3.
Now, how many challenges
of
this do you get?
ACS automatic check swing challenge, and the animation shows that Kim did not go.
So there you go. That's
Okay.
what. Does that line seem too far out front of the plate? Like if I'm able to like that, I don't know. If we saw that from the side view, the way we always look at,
Yeah.
that looks like a swing to me, right?
I don't know enough about this yet. So, but does every player get one challenge?
I would assume it's similar to the ABS where you probably get 2 challenges. Yeah, I would.
So
like the
team gets
I
2
would
challenges.
assume. I don't know either.
Okay.
To be fair, I'll plead ignorance.
I honestly could live without this, but you know, that's another gimmick.
Or do we need to change where that dotted line is? Like, does that? I don't know.
I could see it changing to right about where the bat is.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'd have to know a little bit more about it. Looks like it's a little far out.
To me, it does too. Yeah, because that I don't know. That just seems like a swing. Like he goes very far out in front of the plate and still not a swing. All right.
MLB Power Rankings each week are powered by Warnken Law. 443 results is the number if you've been injured in an accident in the state of Maryland, around Baltimore. WarnkenLaw.com is the website, WARNKEN.com, for the best legal representation you can get. This week's Power Rankings, just a couple quick notes. Tampa Bay, 0-3 so far this week. They'll most likely drop out of the top 5. The Phillies are 3-0 this week. They'll probably move into the top 5 and maybe as high as 4 because the Yankees are without Aaron Judge and Tampa falls out. Also, San Diego.
Wow.
They were 10 last week. San Diego probably will fall out of the top 10. And the Washington Nationals, 0-3. They were 15. They'll probably drop a little further down. If the Orioles have a good week, the Orioles were as low as 25th 2 weeks ago. They're 20th now. If they have a good weekend in Toronto, 2 out of 3, they'll probably move closer to 15,
top 19.
16. All right?
All right,
That's a
good
look
for
at
the
them,
O's.
powered by WarnkenLaw.com. And our Monday Zooms with Pressbox Lives with Ross Grimsley and Luke Jones, also brought to
Luke
you
Jackson.
by Warnken Law. Luke Jackson. I was with Luke Jones last night. I get fooled by that stuff.
Pressbox, YouTube, and
Warnken
Facebook,
Law
yeah.
brings you that, and also Costas In brings you that.
You can
All
find
right?
those on YouTube, the Pressbox, and Facebook on the Pressbox page.
All
So
right.
I should have mentioned earlier. Dave Ricklin checked in earlier, Stan, and he says he's glad that the Blue Jays won yesterday. They obviously beat Chris Sale and the Braves. He thinks it would have been a bigger challenge for the Orioles coming into the series if facing a Jays team that was on a 5-game losing streak. Any agreements with that, or any should we be
I'll tell you
relieved the
what,
Jays won?
that makes sense psychologically for
Sure.
a fan, but the history of betting is if a team has won 5 straight games, bet them to lose the 6th straight. In other words, what makes you think they'll win today? You wait until they win again. So they have a better chance to win again because they just won yesterday than had they lost, in my opinion.
Interesting.
All right.
Also, obviously, the Orioles made a trade yesterday, it was a very minor trade. Kyle Nicholas, who they picked up from the Cincinnati Reds, who had been off to a really bad start. You know anything about him? I looked into him a little bit. He'd only pitched 7 innings and got hit pretty hard in his 7 innings, but he's just a tall, high velo guy. Obviously, that's probably
I'll
why the
look him up.
Orioles.
I'll look him up.
Probably why the Orioles. He had a 4.70 ERA last year. Had a 3.95 ERA in 54 innings in 2024, which seemed to be a slightly better year. He doesn't give up a ton of homers, so that's a positive as well with the Pirates.
All right, that's going to wrap the show for this week.
Final couple days to get your the latest issue of the Press Box.
Future of the Preakness.
Obviously,
Still
Belmont is tomorrow. Who you got in Belmont, Stan?
Belmont is tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, who
I
you got?
do not know.
Okay, fair enough.
Haven't paid attention.
The 3 favorites, I think, from the Derby are all racing. I think that one of those 3 is probably the ones that wins. Renegade's one of them, and who are the other ones? Hold on, I'll get the Derby ones. It was Chief Wallaby, Renegade, and Golden Tempo, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
I guess Golden Tempo wasn't a favorite in the Derby, but.
For Griffin Bass, I'm Stan the Fan. We're out of here. Glenn Clark back Monday, same time slot, Monday through Thursday. We'll be back next Friday with the Friday Baseball Show.
Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball